Welcome, everyone, to Season 2 of Murder in Stratton County. The mystery saga continues with even more murder, mischief, and mayhem. Written by Elizabeth Spoon and Ryland Mason. Narrated by me, Brian Shepard. Episode 8, Out of Control. Picture this. You wake up and instantly remember what happened last night as you came face to face with your killer, who does not want you to keep your job and also would like for you to stop seeing your boyfriend. And if you do, he will die. All after hosting a grand ball in your home, which came to a halt because of the killer cutting the power to the house. Now that all that has come to the surface of your brain, while you still, and in some surprising way, have the motivation to get ready to go to work and face the public, you then find your vehicle down the hill, and apparently it decides to kiss a tree. So, is there any chance of anyone, going through something worse? Because at this point, Brian was not sure what to do anymore. As Brian stood in his driveway holding his briefcase, as he was ready to head to work, Darby was already on the scene inspecting the damage and taking photos, as he was on his way in to escort Brian into town. "Good morning, sir," Darby said as he came around from the front of Brian's beautiful midnight blue Mercedes SUV that he only had 3 payments left, stopping him from getting any closer. "You have got to be kidding me, right? Do you see anything good about this morning? Last night and now my car. I can't take this anymore," Brian answered, which gave Darby a moment to pause and think. Okay, yes, it was a bad morning for the mayor, as his front end was smashed and the airbag went off. Yet, Darby is going to make it very bad, as he doesn't know about Maria. "Sorry, sir. Looks like I'll be bringing you into town. I was told to tell you that you are needed at the police station right away, as I regret to inform you, but it seems as if though Maria Hernandez was killed last night and found in Dr. Prescott's barn." Darby stopped, as Brian raised his hand as he did not want to hear any more. So many things went through Brian's mind, as if what he was going through did not even matter. A friend, a close friend, who has been in this town a long time, raised her son on her own, and, in the process, even kept her late husband's pizza restaurant open. And just now, he's being told that she's dead, gone. To make matters worse, found in his boyfriend's barn of all places. "There's more, sir," Darby spoke, adding, "Diego was the first to find her." He finished by taking a step back. "If you're done here with this, which I can't even deal with at the moment, just take me straight to town hall. I'll call Dugan." And off he walked towards the cruiser, Darby right behind him. Brian knew that if he went to the police station, he would be in the same room as Jordan, which would make things worse. As painful as it was, he was at least going to make sure that no harm came to Jordan, as he seems to be in control of that. His friends, however, seem to have it differently, as one by one is being shown the grave. It was still unclear as to why everyone around him was dying. Was there really something bigger going on than just it being about him? Again, with the questions without answers. It seems to be a theme in this town, besides death, Brian thought, as Darby parked the cruiser on the side of Town Hall. Darby would bring Brian up the side stairs to the second floor and across to his office. Of course, as Brian entered his office, Debbie was there at her desk, looking sad herself. Yet instead of the good morning he was used to, it was replaced by, "I'm so sorry. Can I get you anything?" "Yes, I need Sheriff Ratchet on the phone, and I'm not to be disturbed today. Cancel everything. Not even Dr. Prescott," Brian answered as Debbie opened his door for him, and he walked in. "I will be in my normal spot, sir, if you need anything," Darby said as he sat down in the waiting room. Waving and mumbling something back, Brian then closed the door and walked over to his desk. Sitting and having that moment to just sit and hold your head and think. Psych, as if that was going to happen. No sooner had Brian's head went down, the phone indicated a call coming through. "Brian?" "Dugan, Brian was cut off by Darby walking in and closing the door behind him. No one enters without knocking, so this had to be important. The only thing on Brian's mind, what now? "I'm sorry to bother you, sir. Agent Valerie Winchester and an aide from the governor's office are here." "Perfect timing. Thank you, Darby. You can bring them in. Dugan, I'll need you over here when you have a moment." "I'll be right over," Dugan said before he hung up. Before Brian hung up, he noticed that there were two steady red lights on the desk phone for his office line. Someone from within town hall was listening. To be on the same line meant the call came in, and then it was transferred to Brian, yet never hung up and just listened in. "Debbie, any chance we can have some coffee sent in?" Brian asked as Valerie and the aide walked in and sat in front of Brian's desk. "Absolutely. Oh, and someone has replied to the advertisement. Apparently they'll be in town later this evening, and we're wondering if they could be interviewed." "I forgot all about that." "Find out what you can and let me know," Brian said as she nodded and he closed the door. Now, to find out what the FBI came up with, which he had a feeling it was going to be good. "Before we speak, I have a feeling that my office and phone line are bugged," he said as he sat in his chair. Valerie squinted her eyes while the aide just stared at him. "This is Director Winchester. Send in Group A," Valerie said into her phone. Brian confused as he didn't even see her dial a number. Group A? Within minutes, Town Hall was overrun with field agents, taking up positions in almost every department, hallway, stairwell, and even offices. Getting up from his chair to look outside, Brian saw nothing but a sea of black SUVs, taking up most of the town center. "Mind explaining what is going on?" Brian said as he turned back to Valerie, who for the moment had a smile on her face. Before she could respond, there was a knock at the door. Darby, answering the door, was met by Sheriff Ratchet and, of course, Jordan. Before Valerie briefed everyone on her findings, 2 agents were currently doing a bug sweep in his office. Everyone's eyes were on them as they walked around with tools. A tiny listening device was found at the top of the grandfather clock within the decorative woodwork. Isolated and taken away as evidence, and to be processed for fingerprints, Valerie was then given the all clear as the agents left the office. Let me start by introducing Ryan Green. Mr. Green is Governor Prescott's aide and has been helping me during this investigation. I can tell you with honesty that the governor is not involved with a plot to commit murder, nor has he hired anyone to do so on his behalf, Valerie finished. Brian, being Brian, just rolled his eyes as he was not believing a word of this. There's no way he was not involved. Right. And next, Mr. Greeny here is going to tell me that it was Miss Peacock with an axe in the basement. Why would the killer tell me to stay away from Jordan? He asked. That's why you've been avoiding me? Jordan said as he and Sheriff Ratchet were sitting down. Well, he might as well tell everyone what happened the night of the ball. After explaining what had happened, Jordan seemed angry that someone would go so far as to threaten the love of his life, and felt even more love for Brian as he was willing to walk away and save him. While the meeting at Town Hall carried on, folks in town were busy whispering and gossiping about poor Maria, and it's all Alice heard as she and Tabitha waited tables. Poor Diego, to now lose both parents. What a sad morning, Father Stan said while Alice cashed him out for his morning coffee and muffin. Yes, it is. She was a close friend of mine. I will miss her, Alice said, thinking, is she next? I'm on my way over to meet and speak with him. Make sure he's all right. Help him plan things. Please let him know that we're all thinking of him. If he needs anything, please let us know. I know Shep attempted to visit this morning, but he wouldn't answer the door. Poor thing. I can't blame him. Well, you try and have a great day, Alice. The Lord is looking out for us. Trying to smile as he placed the change in her tip jar and walked out. Just when Alice thought about having a great day, Gemma Mint walked through the door and over to a table and sat down. Good morning, Gemma. What brings you back to town? Tabitha asked as she brought over a cup and coffee for her along with a menu. Oh, you know me, always working. I'm here to help with the selling of the new timeshares at the resort. I believe there are only about 3 weeks left before they're done building. I jumped all over it as I just love being out here, she answered while looking over the menu. Well, we are absolutely grateful you showed us the old Victor place. My husband and kids love it, and now I work here. Stratton has a lot to offer. However, with the murders happening in town, people are staying away. Oh, I heard. Terrible thing. No more pizza, I guess. However, I will take just a wheat bagel with cream cheese. Anything else? No, I believe that'll do. Gemma trailed off as she was watching more black SUVs pull up to Town Hall across the street. Oh, yeah, it's been a circus around here. FBI and everything, Tabitha remarked as she too looked on as men in suits emerged from the vehicles. Wait, is that Governor Prescott? Gemma said as she could have sworn it was him getting out while looking around. Things appear to be getting very serious. Thanks for listening to another episode of Murder in Stratton County. Until next time, an R. Mason Media production, 2023.